Hi guys. So I'm a dreamer, right? And a lot of things that I have dreamt in the past has either been an occasion that has happened before or it has been something that God was showing me before it happened. And so last night I had one of those dreams. And honestly, I don't think the dream is, let me just share it. So my dream was I had a son, right? And this son, I have never had children, been a mother, but in my dream I felt the love of a mother and I felt the attachment and I don't even know what that feels like, but I felt it in the dream. And a lot of things I cannot explain, but I felt it in the dream. And we was out in the park, and mind you, like this son of mine, nobody knew about him. He had disabilities, but he did not let those disabilities stop him from being a kid and being fearless and being just that person that looks at life as the glass is half full. And so we were in the park, me, my sister, my nephew, and my son. Ooh. Mind you, I have a nephew and a sister. I have two sisters in real life, so that part made sense. But the son, not so much. We were in the park, and for some reason, I ended up playing with my nephew. So it was me and my nephew playing, and then my sister and my son playing on the opposite side of the park. And so remember, like the son of mine, nobody knew I had a son, and he's like 3 at this point. I see one of my mentors, and this is a mentor that I literally have in real life, but she was in my dream. I see one of my mentors, and I think to myself, oh, this is a perfect time for me to introduce her to my son. As soon as I'm like, I go, I speak, hey, how you doing? The usual. As soon as I'm about to introduce her to my son, I see him with his jacket on, like he's getting ready to go somewhere. His jacket on, his hat, like everything, like packed up and running off into the unknown. And so I'm like panicking, and I'm asking, like, cause he was with my sister. I'm asking her, where is he going? And she literally says, he's going to his father. And I'm over here panicking and concerned and having like separation anxiety and being afraid of like, oh my gosh, what will happen to him? But I woke literally as soon as she said he's my sister said he's going to his father. I started, like I said, I started panicking, and my last words in that dream was, he does not have a father. And my alarm woke me up. Okay. I started this devotional with my friends um, during this week. And the devotional was on Hannah. And basically, like, the gist of the devotional was laying, laying your burdens and your pain and your hurt down at the feet of Jesus and giving it to the Lord. And so Hannah, for those who don't know, in the Bible, she was not able to have kids. Like she wasn't having kids, and she was very jealous of, I forget the name of the other woman, but she was jealous, not even jealous, but she looked at the other woman of like, wow, she's able to have all of these kids, and with her husband, mind you, they're sharing a husband, like, and she wasn't able to have any kids. And so she was crying and just very, very hurt that she wasn't able to have kids. And which later to turn out like her son is literally Samuel, who is literally the greatest heroes of Israel. So my point is, like, it's time for us to realize and recognize what we are attached to. And whatever we are attached to, it's time to give it back to God. Because Hannah literally gave her she was honest with herself, and knowing that she felt sorrow, she felt really bad for not being able to have kids. And when God did bless her with the son, her son was the one that changed the trajectory of Israel. And in the dream that I had, like, as God has beginning to speak to me, it's now like 6 o'clock, but p.m. But as God has begun to speak to me, like, there's a lot of things that we're attached to that we believe that is a part of our identity that we're ashamed of, but we continue to hold on to it instead of giving it back to Him. So yeah, it's time to give our stuff back to God.